Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. There it is. All right, here we go. Tomato Talk. Here we are. We are live, definitely live and in person today, or live and online today, or this is not live to tape, man. This is live to live. There we go. Good to come to you. And again, I got a few possibilities on this live to live thing, but here we are, live to live. It is July 22nd of 2022. Summer's moving along. Summer series is here. And yeah, we're going to be talking about drag racing a little bit here today. Why? Well, for a few different reasons we're going to talk about. I want to show you a video that was done that took place at the track. I did not do it, but they got the opinions of a few people that race cars and why they think it is. And then I want to show you another video that was actually me. Yeah, I don't know if you want to say I got political, but I did talk to the Riverhead Town Hall, at the Riverhead Town Hall, to the town board and the supervisor about my take as to why a racetrack, a facility, an automotive facility, a motorsports park, call it what you will, would be a benefit to the community and not just the racing community. Not just the racing community. And that really is the big thing there, the way I see it. And I've been asked to stay on board over here with, doing the PR, media contacts and things like that. So definitely going to start working on that and get that reinvigorated again, because now we are a month away. August begins the season. That is actually August 20th. Saturday, August 20th is going to be the first time we go racing again. And that is going to be a nighttime event. You can go earlier in the day, but the racing goes at night. It's from 4 to 9:30 p.m. And I want to show you that stuff besides me reading it to you. But I definitely want to show that to you in the information that we have over here. We'll share the screen on that one. But here's the thing, right? You're a race fan. Some of you might be, some of you might not be. But what's been really interesting is that anytime I bring this up in other places meaning not at a car show, meaning not at, the garage that I use for my car, not at the track, other places, nothing to do with automotive per se. The comments I get back are, you know what, that really makes sense. Or they understand it, they see it, all right? And this is the long-term aspects of it. We used to have a lot of things going on Long Island in the aerospace industry. Aerospace industry, after World War II, has been getting smaller and smaller, still very significant. Definitely smaller and smaller. The auto sports industry used to have a whole number of tracks, even the Formula One racing, Iceland, Freeport Speedway, Roosevelt area had tracks. There were tracks all over the place. I had no idea there was so many tracks until I was introduced to somebody that actually has basically turned his house into a museum with automotive memorabilia from different tracks and photos and cars and helmets and gear. So many things. And it made me wonder, besides those folks that showed up at the track in the stands, or besides those folks that showed up with their cars, but the support side of that, how many people worked in various industries because of that supported the track, that made the track happen? How many food trucks, how many food vendors showed up at all of these things to make sure that everybody had food? How many jobs were created by that? Quite a few, I'm sure. How many young people, kids, students got involved in automotive racing or ducked underneath the fence over at National Speedway or different places to go watch the cars race and say, wow, how cool is that to see that? Many of them became automotive mechanics, garage owners, body and shop places. How many of them became involved and got careers started because of it? Don't know. I don't know. I don't have those statistics. I don't have those figures. I don't know if it's easy enough to go figure out. I can tell you when went to the Oceanside High School and they had their car show, and I spoke to a number of the people there, just chatting with the folks that brought the cars. I did notice that there was alumni stickers on some of the cars that were brought down there. And these were the custom cars or fancy cars and store cars. And then there was one gentleman I spoke to that told me that he was an alumni. And when he was going through school, he had a couple of choices to make. In other words, what kind of a student was he going to be? Was he going to be the athletic student, the jock? No, he came to a pretty good conclusion on that one. That wasn't it. Was he the brainiac? Was he the smart one? Was he the one at the top of the class, the valedictorian? His answer to that one was no. And it came, where else? What else would catch his interest? Right? Middle of the road, go to school for the sake of going to school, going hanging out. No, that's not exactly a positive path in many cases. But then there was this automotive program. He got involved with that. Not only did he get involved with that, he stayed with it. Not only did he stay with it, he got his first job at a garage. He was pumping gas. And then the owner of the garage found out that he could change brake pads and he could do other work on the car. So he spoke. Wound up getting a raise, wound up getting more responsibilities, wound up continuing on in a career. And his career stayed within that automotive realm, but also his hobbies stayed within that automotive realm. The funny part about that one, and he kept on going on and on and on. I asked very few questions. He just kept on talking. Is that when he bought a house, he made sure there was enough room in that house for a 6-car garage. A 6-car garage. I was like, man, it's unbelievable. But he credits this whole thing to going back to the fact that he got involved with the automotive program over at Oceanside High School. He was thrilled to be at that car show, thrilled to be there, and so was so many other people. It was actually phenomenal to go see that thing. And it made me not so much as wonder, because the wondering thing, and I invited Oceanside High School to attend the HIA trade show, the Hop Hog Industrial Association trade show back in 2021. And they came and they brought this rat rod that they were building, and it came on they towed it there because you couldn't drive it. It was not at that point where they could drive it, but they can now. They completed it. That's what that car show was highlighting, what they were able to do. So how many of those students are now going into careers and not even automotive? Talk about STEM, right? The technology side of it, science, technology, etc. How many skills did they learn within that program, building a car in the years prior they built a boat, that fulfills job descriptions in various industries such as manufacturing, aerospace, obviously automotive, construction, more, depending upon what their skill sets are, what they really have an interest in. Maybe it's just engineering, maybe it's just architecture, and now they're learning how to use, AutoCAD, and they're understanding all the rest of that stuff. Possibilities are endless, absolutely endless. My take on this thing? Well, you'll watch my video. You'll see what my take is on this thing as to why that is. All right, somebody share this. So I had the opportunity. I had the opportunity to go out and support the team. The Long Island Needs a Drag Strip team and Pete Scalza with Racetrack Not Street, with the idea of a drag strip, a motorsports park. And this was my take on it. Let's share this with you. And I do hope you find it interesting, and then we'll continue on discussing that a little bit more so. There it is. Ready? Here we go. This was last year, and this was before the town decided to approve the racing again for this year. And this year being 2022, the spring series took place, the summer series is coming up, and then there's a couple of week break, and then it will be the fall series. There's a lot of things going on there. But let me get this thing going for you. This way I have time to make some comments in the end. Program started in 1992. The idea behind that was to build up community relations between the police department and some of the folks that were racing big cars in less than ideal locations. It also helped to build relationships between some of the more at-risk things. So as you move forward with the contemplation of the idea of a drag strip again and this thing happening, that's just one thing I'd like you to consider as you move forward. The other topic to consider as you move forward would be the economic impact of this thing. What I had heard from them, and I led a panel discussion in July of 2019, and one of the things we discussed over there was some of the major growth areas on Long Island, like the Iceland Airport, Conklin Hub, and the possibility of a drag strip. But the possibility of a drag strip, through the town board over here, became a reality this past summer. The economic impact that was done by a study says it's about $17 million. Can't really attest to that. I'd love to see that move forward. So my thought to you on that one was to speak to some of the local businesses and see what the impact was on just those 4 weekends where people came. And one of the things that I found interesting to learn about all of this is the amount of money that these teams, and these teams are families too, which is really wild. But these teams spend going over the bridges, going over to these tracks in New Jersey, Connecticut, upstate New York. What if they didn't have to spend that money in tolls, which is about $125 when you're talking trailers, and spend that money over here? That's an economic impact that's direct. But the biggest thing, when really something to consider, is what we experienced on October 14th. I'm a member of the Hop Industrial Association. Many of the folks up here were kind enough to support me in that effort. Some of them brought their own race cars. But the group of people that brought the car that they built, that they're building, and the boat that they built was the Oceanside High School, right? It's not the Riverhead. But these kids were in the technology program. They were building a race car. They were building a car. They built a boat. What do you think they learned by doing that? Patch Augmented was there also. Patch Augmented worked at virtual enterprise groups to this thing. My feeling is that with a drag strip, that would create more activity with the automotive programs that we've already started. But I didn't know that would create more activities inside of the high schools with the technology programs. Who knew? Then I found out a lot more about the civil engineering programs that were part of it. Who knew? Maybe you knew, I did not. But I think that the idea of a drag strip would be a catalyst to some of the vocational programs that are already in place in these high schools. And it would get more students involved earlier in the years with learning what it is that they like to do, and of course learning what it is that they don't like to do. You mentioned H2M before, civil engineering program. These schools have got civil engineering programs inside of the high schools. A lot of these kids are getting first-hand knowledge of what it's like to do a study, also earning college credits as they go along. Now I know from a parent standpoint, a college standpoint, college expenses are pretty high, but they're really high if somebody goes to school for 2 years at a community school or 4 years and they graduate and then they find out, I really don't want to do that. Wouldn't it be better if they find out when they're in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and this is something I really don't want to do? More excited to talk about stuff that they do want to do. So I really think that this can be a positive catalyst. And this has nothing to do with the racing. This has to do with the off-the-track impact that goes along with it. They are our future workforce, and what they can learn by building things, perhaps using things at a racetrack, would really be unbelievable. And that would be the other thing to consider too. What impact, what positive impact this can have with our students. That should just about be fun.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
You might be asking yourself.
Oh, stop, please, stop. There we go. Let's get rid of that. We'll come back over here to StreamYard. So that was my comments at Riverhead. Hey, Mike, Karen, you can see it. That was my comments over there. And you know something? I totally believe that a motorsports facility, entertainment facility, would be a huge benefit to the vocational programs. Alumni News Radio has a show that Bob Vecchio leads. It's called Spotlight on Long Island Schools. They had the Matatuck School on there. This is recent. I heard it last week. Matatuck School was on there talking about the technology students and the programs that they have over there. There's so many different aspects of it. Because look, if there was a race, and August 20th, there will be a race. But for the next number of weeks, there will be a facility that's there. What goes into that facility? Logistics, project management, food trucks, working out different contracts, things like that, deciding what kind of food trucks to have, the variety of trucks. Somebody's got to make that decision. Logistically, where are they going to be? And that sense to me, maybe it's not a huge project when it comes to civil engineering, but it is still something. How do you lay that facility out where it is in the best interest of the facility, the people, and of course the surrounding area? Because you got to remember too, nobody stepped on the grass, rode on the grass, did anything like that. Very important about having a minimal environmental impact over there. Collecting tickets. So you got event planners that are going on there, crowd control, security. That's a part of it too, right? And of course, the automotive side of it. And then the folks that were down over there, videographer, you had photographers, you had some guy on the microphone. So you got audiovisual programs inside of these colleges. These students could be there and they could be learning how to broadcast from there. The technology side of it, we're talking about the technology of the timing equipment, the lighting, all the rest of that. All of that could be incredible firsthand experience for students. And what I mentioned in there about students being exposed to things earlier, being exposed to these careers earlier, and seeing what they like to do and don't like to do, that's huge. That is so huge. And I really think it's actually bigger to find out and to put these students in a place where they figure out what they don't want to do. Oh, I hear stories upon stories. It's like, you wind up in a retail environment and you're like, I really don't like talking to people. You shouldn't be in retail. Or you shouldn't be in the front side of retail dealing with customers. Maybe you should be on the back side of it. Even the track operators over here, right? There's two guys that are mostly, Pete Scalzer is by far the front man. He's the one in front. And then Tom Wilson is the other guy, that's there. But one's dealing more with the public side of it. He's on the microphone. He's dealing with the spectators, the drivers overall. Tom, much more on the backside of it, making sure that all the cars meet inspection and everything is properly done. That's the behind the scenes versus in front of the scenes. They're both in auto world. They're both in the racing world. So you can clump it together that way, but there's different aspects of it. How many students have got preconceived notions about what event planning is? Oh, it's easy. It's not easy. Maybe it's easy to lay things out. Maybe it's easy to schedule which food truck should be there. But then, of course, you got to put people in the stands. How do you market it, advertise? Where do you go to market and advertise these things? Wow. Social media experience for students? Absolutely. Finding out how challenging it could be, how frustrating different things could be? Absolutely, too. Definitely can be. All right, I want to play another video over here, and hopefully I don't have any copyright things on this one. I don't think I will, but hey, you know what? One never knows. One never knows on that one, but I definitely want to share this with you. And this is the racer's perspective on this, and I am going to give them at least full credit over here. That one, I think it was. Yeah, I'm going to give them full credit on this because I don't want to I'm not taking any credit for it or anything like that. Also, you should know in advance of you that the layout is a little bit different. It's still an eighth of a mile and there's no track compound. That side of it's the same. The light, the Christmas tree is there too. The stand setup is a little bit better. The food truck positioning a little bit better, but you get a good idea of this whole thing. And there's also the accessibility side of it. This is another comment, and maybe we'll deal with that side of it next week about all the different facets of this whole thing. And as we continue on, because now is the time. We got another couple of weeks and we start doing this thing again. All right, so let's bring this over here.
My goal was always to give back to today's youth what we had growing up. I had 3 racetracks. I live in Central Richards. There was one 5 minutes down the road from my parents' house. We haven't had a racetrack in 17 years. But when the town board voted in favor of it, I had tears in my eyes. There's kids that are growing up today, they don't even know what the sport is. They don't know nothing about it. This is what we need today. We need more wholesome family entertainment.
My grandchildren are here. My daughter's here, my son-in-law. I'm 63. I started racing again last year after about a 25-year hiatus. We started Long Island Needs a Drag Strip 5 years ago, but I know they even tried 12 years ago to get this going. So it's a culmination of just people, fans, the politicians. You got to thank everybody for really participating and making it happen. Most important is to get the kids off the street and teach them the right way to race. And without a drag strip, it's almost impossible. I'm just a hobbyist. I don't do this every weekend, but I enjoy it, and I'm going to pass it down to my kids too.
Being around basically the racing community is like family. You go to anybody, one of the trailers, like, hey, can I borrow this? Can I use this? And everybody's there to help. So I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. I loaded up the trailer. I was like, oh, this is great. I can't wait to go. And now I'm here. Car's here with, my fellow racers. And this is literally, I'm in heaven right now.
All right, the dates are a little bit different than what we just saw over there really quick, so I don't want to share that one, but I will certainly put up the post. In fact, I'm just going to flip over to that right now, and we're going to share that screen. And this is going to be the current dates for the racetrack, not street. I'm going to come back over here, and I think I still have my... yeah, I'm still on over there. All right, so you got opening day is going to be August 20th. It's a Saturday. Invasion of the Buggies. There's a couple of special events that go along with this thing. So that should be there. That's August 20th. So the racing is actually from 4 o'clock till 9:30. All right, you're going to notice something here too, because it's taking its sound into consideration. But it's from 4 to 9:30. You want to get there as early as 1 o'clock, you certainly can. If you are racing, you have to pass inspection. A lot of those folks come down, they go through the inspection, then they line up. So now they're in front of a pretty significant line of cars that are going to race. I think the maximum racers was 250. It's 250 cars. It's a lot. Did speak to some of the drivers, and if you're thinking about racing your car, right, it does have to pass inspection. You go on the site to see exactly what you need, but it's not extensive. You do need a real helmet. You need a real helmet, not a motorcycle helmet, not anything less than that, but you need a real helmet. You could probably borrow one, if you need to, but you need a real helmet and a few things that go along with the car. Nothing extensive. It does have to have a muffler. If you're on the professional side and you're bringing it down over here, the cars do have to have mufflers. Most of the cars, I can tell you, were street legal cars. Most were, 90%. They have all license plates, registration, everything like that goes along with it. There was a few historical cars. A few of these cars, there's no way they're driving them around the street. Maybe they'll bring them out for car shows and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, that's what it is. Very much like the stories that you heard over there. Not John's story, but the other guy's story. I remember that. So it's Sunday. Let's see. So it's Saturday and Sunday, August 20th and 21st. Those are both. They're both on the weekend. So the 20th is a nighttime event. Sunday's day. So the track racing goes from 11 to 4 p.m. So the track opens up at 8 o'clock. And by all means, get there early. Enjoy the day. You got the food trucks, wide variety of food trucks. You get a chance to speak to drivers, do all the rest of that stuff. Bring the camera, take photos, have a ball with it. Really, truly, you want to speak to people, do that. And I gotta tell you, I'm actually looking to see about really getting the stories out on a couple of things. One of them is that vocational aspect of it. So if you're interested in telling that story, hey, you let me know. If you're interested in telling the economic impact of that story, you let me know. If you let me know about your history in some sort of automotive or tech program when you were in high school and how that impacted your career and that how led you in that direction, you let me know. Because this is not just about the racing community. It's so not. It starts there, but it goes way, way, way beyond that. Way beyond that. And that's the benefit. That, I think, is the beautiful long-term economic benefit of this thing. And I have spoke to the manufacturers. And the manufacturers are looking for people. They're looking for people that fit different job descriptions. But the attitude that they're looking for is those students that really love to do whatever it is, be it in project management, maybe so. Maybe it's executive level, perhaps. Granted, need a few more years of experience. You're not coming right out of high school and becoming an executive, but you might be on that path. You might be showing leadership skills when you were in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, where you're maybe not the person turning the wrench over there, but you're the one coordinating the whole project to make sure it goes on time, goes according to budget. I'm sure in the schools there's budgetary constraints, time constraints. You're not talking full-time students that can work on this thing full-time. Time constraints must be amazing. You show you do all that stuff, let me tell you, that is a real, honest-to-goodness resume item. And I've even spoken to a few people that are in the aerospace industry. Same thing. One person in particular, I asked, it's like, I've been talking about this. I see the job description fits. In theory, it fits, but does it really fit? He's like, oh, yes, it does. And then he told me his story, too, which ties all the way back into this. So go figure. The possibilities are there. All right, so Saturday the 20th, it's an evening event, but you're there in the afternoon. Racing starts 4, goes to 9:30. Sunday, it is a day event, so you're there. The racing is from 11 to 4 p.m., and you can show up as early 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when the gates open, and then it continues on from there. The weekend of the 27th, the weekend of September 3rd. The one thing that excites me, which I was talking about a little bit in the beginning of this, I'm going to remove that, was the Beat the Heat program. Now, street racing is a topic, and it's a topic. I don't know that much about it. It's a tough one to speak about and things like that. Does it take place? Yes. Would this be an alternative to illegal street racing and bring those racers, those cars over here and race on a track? Now it's different. How different? Well, it's timed. You've got the Christmas tree, you've got the lights, you've got safety involved, you've got the ambulance, you got the fire truck, you got those concrete barriers, you've got smooth walls should an accident occur, not parked cars, not telephone poles, fire hydrants, buildings, stuff like that. It's different. Is it the same level of excitement? I don't know. But I can tell you, it's an alternative. And that is exciting. So what's happening in September, the Medley Police Department, the Medley Beat the Heat program, let me clarify that one, the Medley Beat the Heat program, which is former officers and stuff like that, they're bringing their cars up over here to race. You get a chance to race against the Beat the Heat program. Police cars. They're made to look like police cars. Maybe some of them were police cars or confiscated cars and stuff like that. You beat them, you get a t-shirt that says, I beat the heat. You don't beat them, hey, it's still fun. No matter what, it's a photo, without a doubt. And that program, that Beat the Heat program, well, considering it's 30 minutes, I'm not going to go into it, but you should look that one up. Beat the Heat. All right. I'm going to put a few links up over here. We'll play a little music on the way out the door again. Karen, Mike, thanks for joining us. Everybody else that's online, thank you for joining me here today. I do look forward to seeing you out there. Any questions, let me know. And one very, very important thing before I give you my threesome over there is the fact that if you are interested in attending, they are limited. There's a limitation as to how many people race their cars. So that is, you need to sign up in advance. Also, there's a limit to the amount of spectators, the amount of people that can be attending this thing, which is 2,500 people. That includes the drivers of the cars, the family members of the drivers of the cars, and also whatever pit crew that those folks have. So adds up quickly. So somebody shows up with their car to race. chances are they're not showing up alone. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 4 people, maybe more. So they get to 2,500 people pretty quick. It will sell out, as it did last year. I do imagine it will again this year. Get the tickets in advance. You can do that by going online. And I think Brown's Automotive has got something coming up on August 13th at their place, so we'll share that too. We're going to go racing again, my friends. Nope, I don't know if I'll be racing a car down the track. Possibility. But I will be hanging on to that microphone. And that's going to be a whole lot of fun. That's much more my speed rather than racing the car. But maybe I'll show you the video next time around. All right, remember, hey, it's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the weather, right? Don't make sure you hydrate and all the rest of that stuff. Go out for a walk, get in the water, get in the pool, go down to the beach. Watch out for the sharks. Sharks swim in the ocean. I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but sharks swim in the ocean. But get out there. Go for a walk in the woods. It's shaded. Go early. Get up early. Watch the sunrise someplace. Stay out late. Go watch the sunset someplace. Cooler that way. All right. We'll see you comes Monday. Remember now, speak well, speak often, and live inspired. Now we're going to add that photo to the stream.